of you might already know, every year Jordan and I do a little challenge in the winter where we see how long we can go eating only food that we've grown in our community garden plots or foraged and hunted in the woods. We call this our Living Off the Land challenge. We've done this for the past 7 years, the past 2 of which we shared on social media, but this is the first year we're going to share in depth about it on YouTube. We like to start the challenge once we've harvested pretty much everything from our garden and Jordan has finished hunting for the year. Well, the pantry and freezer are very full, the pumpkins have completely taken over our dining room table, and there's frost on the ground, so the time has come for us to start our Living Off the Land challenge. We will make a few exceptions, like for salt and cooking oil, since we don't have a great way to provide those for ourselves yet. We'll also do some trading here and there, like if we want to give some honey to a friend in exchange for some eggs from her chickens. We eat a lot of homegrown food throughout the year, but this time is still a big adjustment for us. Last year we went for 3 straight months, and we found that the biggest challenge was not having enough calories or sustenance, but really finding the time and energy to cook and transform our raw ingredients into meals for every single meal that we ate. So this year we're hoping to do a lot more preparation ahead of time and preparing things in batches. We started this week by grinding some of our corn. This dent corn makes excellent cornmeal and grits, and grinding it up in our hand mill makes an excellent workout. We sift out the little bits of chaff that comes from the corn cob in a colander, and we'll save that to give to the chickens at my work. Then we separate out the grits from the cornmeal. The cornmeal we use for things like cornbread. The grits we'll use as a base for thick stews or frying up polenta cakes, and the cornmeal will go into cornbread, which I'm really excited to have with all of our honey this year. Last year I also made a sort of a sweet cornmeal pumpkin fritter type thing, and I'm really looking forward to replicating that recipe and perfecting it for our future cookbook. Speaking of pumpkins, it's time to reclaim our table and start cooking some of these. We'll use roasted pumpkin in stews throughout the week, in cornbread, or just seasoned as a great side dish. But a lot of it will also go to our dog, Lil Moo, because it's so good for her digestion and she just really likes it. We actually put some roasted pumpkin and some venison down in front of her at the same time to test her preferences, and she went to the pumpkin first. Must be why she's so sweet. I love roasted pumpkin, but I might be even more excited by all these pumpkin seeds we're going to have. We'll roast these as a snack, grind them up with honey and water to make horchata, or my favorite use, toasting them with hot peppers and spices to make salsa matcha. Jordan has also learned the hard way that I get a little grumpy if I don't have snacks in between meals, so we cut up some venison to make into jerky. We also got a shoulder stewing in some of our preserved marinara sauce. One of our favorite things to do is take these cuts from the deer that have bones and lots of connective tissue and slow cook them for hours in some kind of flavorful sauce like marinara or salsa. Once the meat is nice and tender, we can take it out and shred it up for tacos, put it in stews, or just have it as is. When the weather gets cold, a big bowl of this on top of some mashed potatoes is about as good a comfort food as you can get. Finally, we cracked open a big bowl of black walnuts. If you saw our pantry tour a couple weeks ago, you saw that we have bushels and bushels of these this year, which is the most we've ever had by far. So we're really looking forward to not just eating them as snacks, but taking advantage of their unique flavor and their high fat content and incorporating them into all kinds of dishes. This time of year not only represents a challenge for us to use all of this abundance we've piled up, but also a chance to slow down and really enjoy cooking for ourselves and learning new things. Giving myself permission to take it easy and settle into small comforts like having a bowl full of hot apples topped with hickory nuts or reading an entire book from start to finish has transformed winter from a time that I dread to one that I actually anticipate and am looking forward to. As the nights get longer, we'll be spending the evenings crafting with deer leather or cracking more nuts while watching movies or just enjoying hanging out with little Moo. If it's getting cold in your area like it is ours, I hope you also give yourself permission to slow down and really settle into the coziness.